If you're wondering what fun things you can partake in during your stay on Guam, then I'm glad you're here because this video is all about Guam's nightlife, events, and entertainment. Hi, I'm Danielle, or Dani for short. I was born on Guam and have lived here for the past 30 years. And even being here that long, I still haven't experienced everything that Guam has to offer. So just as a disclaimer, I may not be able to cover everything there is to do on Guam, but I will touch on at least my favorite things to do here. So in this video, I'll be sharing my favorites in the aspects of nightlife, like bars and clubs, family activities like night markets and food truck frenzies, and of course special events and entertainment. Now, as a side note, at the time of this filming, a lot of the bars and clubs have just been starting to open back up again. So some of the things I may mention are things or places that I have frequented before COVID. So I am hoping that it's still relevant, or at least these places open back up again and are in full swing so that you can enjoy it too. For relaxing jazz music, I have enjoyed going to the Dusitani Golden Hour at their main lobby lounge. Every now and then, actually I think it's mostly on the weekends, they feature a live band and they do a lot of either like jazz or acoustic, sometimes some blues if you're into that. But it's definitely a nice spot to get dressed up and enjoy a glass of wine, have a girls' night. Another of my favorite spots is Old Traditions, and that's more on the southern side of the Tumon Strip. And sometimes they feature like a one-person or two-person band. But I think what I like the most about that place is you can bring your dog. So we've let Max run around there every now and then. The bartenders are fantastic there. And then you also have, if you like a lot of games, they have dartboards, beer pong, pool tables, foosball, you name it. There's always something there to keep you entertained. If rock and acoustic is more your vibe, then I would definitely recommend hitting up Porky's Bar. That's located across the Hyatt Hotel, and usually on Friday and Saturday nights there's a live band feature there, and they are just amazing. I think it's Saturday nights where it's Precious Metal that plays, and they do everything from like 80s rock to 90s rock, but it really gets the party going, and it's always a good time there. Now, taking hold of the playlist is more your thing, then I would definitely recommend hijacking the jukebox over at the Horse and Cow Grill. So that's located in Tumuning, a little farther from the Tumon Strip where all like the main action is. But it's one of those places that you could stay all night. They got good food, great beer, and they also got a beer pong table and pool tables as well. And a little ways down from the Horse and Cow, more central in Agana, there are two places that I wanted to mention. The first being Coffee Slut. In the mornings, they're usually just like a coffee shop, and I know they serve some like nitro brews. But in the evening, especially on the weekends, they actually host live music as well and serve some beer on tap. And though we haven't been able to catch the live music on the weekends, it's still a really nice spot, especially the outdoor seating area, because you get a really beautiful view of the beach. You might be able to catch the sunset. And the second place is Carabel Brewing. And that's like one of our favorite spots, especially if you're a huge craft beer person. So every week their taps change. And my personal favorite is the Nizuk Punch. I love dark beer, but that one's a coconut porter. So anytime they've got that, I've got one of those in my hand. Now, if you're a huge karaoke person, we do have a lot of awesome karaoke lounges here. My two favorites would definitely be Lava Lounge, and that's located across the Pacific Islands Club Hotel. The other one would be Min's Karaoke, and that's a little bit more toward the north side of the Tumon Strip, but both they both feature private rooms if you wanted just you and like a few friends, or they have like the main room for everybody to sing in. And of course, that's always a blast, because if you pick a song that everybody likes, then basically like one big sing-along. So now switching over to more like family-friendly activities, the first one I'm going to recommend is checking out the Chamorro Village Night Market, which is usually on Wednesday nights. And this features a lot of local vendors, food, craftsmanship. If you wanted to go for like souvenir shopping, that's a good spot. But that's like your initiation into your first, few days on Guam. You have to take your family there. It's always a good time there. One for sure that I know is in full effect is the food truck frenzy on Thursday nights. and that takes place behind the Guam Museum in Agana. So it's in between the Guam Museum and the Chamorro Village area, and it's at the Skinner's Plaza. And all the food trucks line up there. Again, you got a lot of like live cooking, you know, the vendors setting up there. I'm very simple. I like just going for my my sweet and salty kettle corn. That's just my guilty pleasure. But it's really nice, and everybody sets up in the park area. There's some benches there if you wanted to sit and eat your food, but it's definitely a nice spot to take your kids to check out. A fun activity that I've mostly heard of and read about, but haven't personally taken part in, is the Valley of the Latte, and that is basically like an adventure park located in the village of Telefofo, so a little bit more on the southern east side of Guam, but it features a main tour as well as cultural activities. I've just heard a lot of great things about it. Unfortunately, even though I haven't been able to take part in it personally, hopefully on a visit back, then I can take advantage of that then. Annually, some of the villages take part in the village festivals, and those are really cool because each village has a different theme of its own. So for example, the village of Maritzo does a crab festival, Agate does the mango festival, Ipan does a banana festival, and in each of these different festivals, it features so many different types of food and you know, things that are pertaining to the theme. Different ways to use like the banana leaf. I think at like the mango festival, we've seen, you know, like different farmers bring out like the best looking mango or the weirdest looking mango. Not to mention there's always like people cooking like mango donuts, mango, you know, doing mango shakes, making mango pies. So that's your thing, you know, definitely check that out. We do have a number of beauty pageants that go on. We do have a Miss Earth Guam, we have a Miss Universe Guam, a Miss World Guam. We have those pageants that you can, you know, go on to support your contestant or even just to check it out for the entertainment. We also have a number of like bodybuilding competitions around the island, some tournaments like some jiu-jitsu tournaments or Muay Thai tournaments as well. If you're into a lot of like beach games, sometimes there are some contests held there. I've personally thrown some of these events when I had my own business, the Island Unicorn, and it was just purely for fun because I know a lot of people like these games. But I have hosted like beer pong tournaments at like Horse and Cow. I did some Beersby tournaments, some cornhole tournaments over at the Dunkas Beach next to Jimmy D's or in collaboration with Jimmy D's. So those are always a really good time. And then of course you'll have some like side contests like the wet t-shirt contest. I'll definitely let you know how you can find out and stay in the loop so that you know what events are coming up soon. That includes other events such as like Wine Fest and Craft Beer and Whiskey Fest, you know, depending on which liquor distributor or beer distributor wants to host it, you know, each year. Those are always a blast as well. Sometimes they partner up with the hotels and they just do like a whole entire like wine extravaganza with like great food and music. Another festival that's really fun to attend is the Electric Island Festival. And that's for, you know, it's very comparable to like the Electric Daisy Carnival like in Vegas and stuff like that. If you're into like house and dubstep, you know, a lot with like kind of like one giant rave. Didn't happen in 2020, but I am hoping that one is going to be thrown soon because that's always a fun one to dress up in, like just different costumes, different personalities all come out, and that's always like a really good time. So like I mentioned before, there are a number of ways that you can, you know, stay up to date with what events are coming up, you know, especially if you know when you're going to be here on Guam and you might be able to catch some of these, that, you know, that's always like a great coincidence. But one of the ways is getting in contact with the Guam Visitors Bureau. They are pretty good about, you know, talking about some international events that take place on Guam. Another outlet would definitely be Current Guam on Facebook, as well as What's Happening Guam on Instagram. Those are both good platforms because they post a lot of like the events that are coming up as well. And of course, a lot of the news outlets that we have here, like Pacific Daily News, Guam Daily Post, Pacific News Center. Some of the radio stations as well are very good at like announcing what events are coming up, like Hit Radio 100, Power 98, Star 101, Boss 104. Definitely take advantage of those outlets as well because they'll always like announce, you know, what things are happening. My ending note to this video is whatever you are gonna, partake in, always do it safely and responsibly. If you have to download the Stroll Guam app, that's kind of like the Guam equivalent of Uber out here, or, take advantage of the taxi service here, maybe a little pricier, but, that's nothing compared to getting a DUI. So, again, practice safety and responsibility, or, be that good friend who wants to be the DD for the rest of the group, and, have fun, but safely. Well, that's all for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, then please give it a like. And if you do want to check out more content like this, I do have other videos where I talk a lot more about like hikes, snorkeling, scuba diving, the beaches here on Guam, landmarks to check out, very scenic spots where you can post tons of great pictures from. So if you want to check those videos out, then definitely subscribe to the channel as well. Until then, I will see you in the next video. Bye!